Today I'm telling you my experience as a beginner. Hi, I'm Jessica Valant, a physical therapist and Pilates teacher, and I want to bring science-based knowledge, empathy, courage, support, love, and hopefully some fun to the journeys we have with our bodies. There is hope and strength in your body, and my goal is to help you find it. Hi, and thanks for being here as we are talking about a very personal story today, but it will relate to you. We have been talking so much about beginner fitness here. It is January. I'm recording this live January 2025. So it's a great time to jump into, things about being a beginner in fitness. So we've had lots of beginner workout programs, and we've talked quite a bit about some tips and even red flags I have as being a beginner in fitness, meaning how important it is for you to feel encouraged, to feel supported, for you to have options, how to feel safe and motivated in your own body. So many great things. And you can go back to previous podcasts and some YouTube videos that I have around that. And so kind of to cap this month, I thought it was perfect time to talk to you about my current experience being a beginner. And I want to give kind of a big footnote to this, that this isn't necessarily, at least what I'm talking about today, isn't the type of beginner where maybe you've done something before and either you stopped or you had an injury. So my example would be, I had surgery 6 weeks ago. I had to do my own rehabilitation. I had to build strength again. I had to, be a beginner in a lot of ways to come back from that. But in that aspect, being a beginner meant I was starting some fitness moves and some strengthening again I was meeting my body where it was in this season of life, coming back from surgery. But I didn't have to completely learn a new fitness program, right? Like Pilates was in my head. I'm a physical therapist. I have that background. I've been working out and moving my body for 25 years. I have such experience with injuries and surgeries. I even knew what recovery might look like because I've had 6 surgeries. So I had a lot of context around it. So not to say I wasn't being a beginner again in some ways, because I think we always are on that spectrum, right? There's beginner, intermediate, advanced, and we're constantly moving on that spectrum depending, again, on the season of life that we're in. But I really want to throw it out there that I did have a lot of kind of foundation work done, and many of us do when it comes to being a beginner. Even if I went to a new class, let's say I had a friend who invited me, which does happen, actually continues to happen periodically. I have a friend who will invite me to a fitness class or something that she loves to do, and I'll say, yeah, let's go try it. Even in that aspect, if I don't quite know what to expect, I have the background of being comfortable in fitness studios and gyms, right? I even have a background of being comfortable of knowing what to wear. It's easy for me to grab an outfit because I live in workout clothes. I'm just saying all that to say that I do have quite a bit of foundation and context around it. So it's not fair for me to say I'm a complete beginner because I have kind of some of that background already in me. Like I've assimilated all of that. I've assimilated what it's like to be in a class with other people. I know what it's like to be able to move my body and not cause pain. I know how to modify things for myself. So that puts me in a very privileged place when it comes to being maybe a beginner to that place or beginner to that type of movement. But I'm not a true beginner to movement in general. And I keep that in mind when I'm working with clients, because sometimes I work with many of you who really are a beginner to this entire kind of lifestyle and what it means to move your body and what it means to feel safe in your body. So I absolutely understand that and try to meet people where they are. And this is my story with that. So I want to kind of tell you at least about what I'm experiencing right now. Even though it's a small thing. It's silly, I know, but I'm definitely in the throes of being a beginner. And I want to, again, kind of share my story, but also really validate what you might be feeling if and when you are kind of a true beginner in a really new situation that feels like, wow, I don't know anything about this. Like I am going in completely without knowledge of what I'm doing or what's happening, and maybe even like a little bit of trepidation going into it. And then I'll tell you just a few of the things I've learned in the past, I would say like 4 weeks is this experience, but with a whole lot of past and trauma around it. So I'll tell you some of the tips I've learned. So this is really for people who, again, find themselves wanting to try something new, but really truly feeling like, gosh, I am a brand new beginner and I am really nervous. I don't know if I can do this, and I don't even know if I want to do it. I think I want to do it, but I'm pretty nervous about it, and I just don't know. This is for you. So I am going to tell you my experience with trying to learn, or I won't say trying, with learning how to ski. And I am going to, if you followed me for a while, you know there's a history. I have a history with this. So I'm going to give you my background so you know kind of where I'm coming from. Because like I said, sometimes you bring in some past experiences with you. Always. I mean, I won't say sometimes, always. We are human beings created by and from our past experiences, whatever they may be. And that might really help us going into a new situation, or it might hold us back a little bit, depending on what our history tells us and what our past experiences have been. So I grew up in Kansas City, and I would say there was maybe two winter trips that we came out to Colorado and skied, which is a really common thing people in Kansas will do. In winter, visit Colorado and ski. And I think I did it probably twice. Like my family was not athletic. We were not skiers. I don't remember a lot about it, except I know I was around probably 10 or 11 or 12 in that age. I don't remember if we did lessons. I think we probably rented everything. I don't remember having any instruction. I probably did have some, but I really don't remember that. I don't remember liking it or loving it, but I liked it fine. So I just went along with it. And what I really remember, though, is the last run on our last day. I was coming down the mountain by myself. Again, no instruction. I don't think we had lessons. And I ran into someone else. And I don't remember the context exactly around it, except there was a big crash, and they had to pull me down the mountain in one of those, a ski helper came up. I don't even know all the words. And I was in one of those sleds where they had to pull me down. And that's what I was left with. And I don't remember really being helped all that much or supported. I just remember and I was okay. Physically, I was fine. But I remember feeling super self-conscious. Like I don't think anyone said, "Oh, you did great," or "Oh, I'm so sorry that happened to you. How can we do it better? Let's get back out there. Let me help." It was none of that. It was, "Oh, Jessica crashed. Okay, I guess we're done." And I felt so embarrassed, that age. I mean, I was a middle school girl. I had run into someone else. They were upset. I was so embarrassed, so self-conscious. And all I remember was kind of leaving that situation saying, okay, obviously I'm not meant to ski. Like skiing is not for me. Nobody wants me here. I'm done. Okay, so that was back then. Then I moved out to Colorado. And the person I was with at the time, my partner at the time, like in my early 20s, late, probably 19, 20, all the way through 22, 23, snowboarded, okay? Really like to snowboard. It's like, I'm going to teach you how. This is awesome. It's so fun. You're going to love it. And again, it just wasn't anything I was ever really drawn towards, but I said, okay, I'll do it. Sure. I wanted to be cool. I wanted to say I could do it. I lived in Colorado. All the cool kids did it. Again, I never took a lesson. I didn't have a group lesson. I didn't have an individual lesson. I just had this person teaching me who, again, I never felt really supported by. I never felt really comfortable with. And a lot of that is on me. I'm not blaming anyone else. That's my own baggage and my own stuff I brought with me. But I did it a few times and I just was never good and I never loved it and I never felt super comfortable. And again, it was this really big piece of like being self-conscious, not owning myself and my confidence up there, not being comfortable asking questions. I just never embodied it. Like it just always felt so uncomfortable to me with a really big piece of being self-conscious and embarrassed. I don't exactly know why. I just know it was. So I only did it a few times a year. I never got really good. And then that relationship, I moved on from that. And just decided, I don't need to do this. Why do I need to do this? I don't love it. And we moved to Hawaii then. And I'm like, I don't ever need to do that again. I had no need. I didn't think we'd ever move back here. Well, we did move back here. Me and then my husband now, my new partner and my husband, we moved back here. We have kids. We live in Colorado. And my husband grew up here. And he's an amazing skier. And I know enough to know, okay, if kids are going to learn, they need to learn when they're young. Like, I have this fear and this weird thing around it. So kids should learn when they're young. So when he said, I really feel like, we're going to raise our kids here. This is where we're going to be. They should learn to ski. Yes, I 100% supported it. Especially because he said he would take over. I mean, I can't teach them. He was going to do it. So yes, absolutely. I will support that. You are in charge. Have fun doing that. The thing is, I love to be with our family. Like, we do things together. We are very, very much a family unit of 4. We have so much fun. We like to be active. We play a lot, like outside, inside. They're just my most favorite people to be with. Also, I love to be outside. You guys know this. I love to be outside. I love to be active. And I like to be a part of things. It's just not my personality. I know I was joking, but it's not my personality to say, okay, honey, you take care of it. You guys have fun. Bye. I'll see you in 3 days. Like, that's not me. I want to be a part of it. I want to both help them get ready. I want to be able to support them. I want to use the right language to talk to them about something I like to do. And I want to be there. So I said, okay, I will get back into snowboarding. Well, this is becoming a long story, but I would say over 2 seasons, I tried I didn't take a lesson again. I just tried to make it down the mountain safely. I didn't enjoy it. I can't explain to you the nerves. Like, my nervous system goes haywire. Okay. And I really think it has to do with this like past trauma and even just the things that I associated with that back then, years and years and years ago. It came up like that first time I was back on the ski lift. I knew I was safe. I mean, I was with my husband, the person I trust most in the entire world. You guys, I can't even tell you, like, he even turned, he's like, are you okay? Are you going to be okay? My breathing, I was just, I was hyperventilating. Like, I just can't even explain it. So it wasn't a great experience. And because he skis, he couldn't help me snowboard. It's like, I can't teach you that. I want to help you, but I really can't. But I was determined. Okay. 1 season went by, went maybe twice. Fine. But I was able to be there and watch our kids learn to ski. That's what I wanted. That's why I was doing this. I had a really strong why. I wasn't just being stubborn. I swear. I had a really strong why. So then, this was like January 2023, I want to say, somewhere in that season. Anyway, we were out. Our kids were in a lesson. My husband was skiing. I was snowboarding. I took a bad fall and I broke my tailbone. And it wasn't good. It was not good. And it hurt so bad. And I just, oh my gosh, it hurt so bad. And I did actually go one more time that season. I bought some padded shorts. We had a trip with friends planned. So I did go just very carefully. But I tell you what, it was never fun. Like, it was never fun. It was so nerve-wracking. And again, it wasn't just like, oh, I'm nervous. It was true anxiety that I experienced doing this. All right, so that season ended. And my husband said, you know what? We need to have a talk. It's not worth it. You feeling this way. I'm watching you. You don't have to do it. And he's so supportive. It's like, you don't have to do this. Just come up there with us, watch them a little bit, sit in the lodge. Like, you don't have to. And I couldn't explain it, but I'm like, I want to try. And I feel like I haven't really truly tried. And he said, you know what? Why don't you try skiing next year? It could be so much easier. You could still be up there. You can kind of start from scratch. I can at least help. I can feel like I can help you more. You know, our daughter's good enough. He's like, she can be with you. You could take a lesson. And I said, okay, I am willing to do that finally. So we, like the beginning of the next season, we got me used skis and I was committed to trying. And then I was diagnosed with breast cancer and had to have a mastectomy. I laugh only because it put off the whole season. I couldn't do anything. Like, the whole season was a bust. I didn't go once. So this year comes around. Okay. And I set, and it was probably like the most sure I've been about it, that I was like, my goal is to put what I can towards actually learning and trying. And if this is the season it doesn't work, then I can say I truly tried and I will move on. But I want to actually try because I don't feel like I have yet. Like I definitely haven't tried skiing. And the snowboarding thing, I'm just going to accept it. I just can't get past the learning and the trauma and whatever else is there with it. I just can't, and it's not worth it to me. So we're going to do the skiing. Okay, so that's what leads me to now. So that is this season, right? And that's where I am. So you understand all of this stuff that I'm bringing in with me. And you might be saying, Jessica, why are you even doing this? And I'm going to say, first off, my tip is, or what I'll say is, I actually want to, despite all of this, and my words might counteract what I'm saying to you. I actually really want to, like, I want to learn how. And if I can't, okay, like I said, so be it. But I really haven't committed a season to doing it. I've done the snowboarding thing, but again, even that wasn't, I kind of committed, but I just couldn't get past the emotional part of it. So that's why it's not because I'm being stubborn and hitting my head against the wall, because I think there are some things you can just say no to. Like I have some hard no's when it comes to adventure and fitness and those kind of things, because so know this about me, I'm not an adventure person. I love to be active and I love nature. I don't necessarily love what other people might say, let's do this big adventurous thing. I don't love speed. I actually don't even really like speed, okay? I don't like speed. I don't like heights. I won't do bungee jumping, like hard nose. Bungee jumping, zip lines are pretty much a no to me. There are things like that. Ropes courses would be a maybe. That would be a maybe. I'll do rock climbing, but I can get about 15 feet before I start shaking. I'm like, bring me down. So that thing that they say people have when they have a really big amygdala, like that, so they don't experience fear, I feel like I'm the opposite, okay? I'm the opposite of that. I love outside. I love nature. I love to move my body. And I'm realizing I love to do it in a really controlled, safe environment. I love the ocean. Okay, that's a known entity to me. I actually feel really comfortable on the ocean. So I'll get on my surfboard and go out. But I don't love big waves. I just want to paddle in flat water. So I have a comfort level. And it's easy to get past it when it comes to, again, adventure. And it's mostly around heights and speed and anything I feel out of control. So I do have some really hard no's. So I guess my point is you might have those. And I don't feel like you ever have to push past hard no's just to prove yourself or just to show you're brave. I'm saying that in air quotes. I'm not doing any of that. I'm truly listening to myself saying, I think this could be fun if I can get past whatever self boundary I've put in place. Like there's something that has been put in me, again, from past experience, from something, I don't know. And if I can get past it, I think I could really like this. I think it could be fun. And I'm willing to put in the work to just figure it out this year. So just hear me when I say those are two different things. Again, I do not think you need to jump into crazy things. Don't ever do it for someone else. Okay, I'm doing this for me. I'm doing it for myself. I don't feel pressure from anyone else. I am doing it 100% for me. So do something for yourself. But this is my story and kind of my tips around what I have found now. Skiing 3 times, which means 3 days. Okay, when we say we here in Colorado, we'll say, oh, I've skied 3 times. That means 3 days. So we knew we had a trip with friends coming up this past weekend. I knew that was coming, and it was a ski trip. It was a 3-day ski trip. We just drive. It's an hour away. When I say a trip, it's just we're going and staying at a condo and skiing. We're doing it with friends, and these are friends who know my entire history with this and have been snowboarding with me before. Our kids love to ski together. We were really excited about it, and I realized it was coming up quickly. And I'm like, I need to at least put on a pair of skis and see if I can even do this. Also, I am 6 weeks out from my surgery. So I was working with that and just making sure that my body was ready. So I went 1 day, a half day with my girlfriend. I was supposed to go with my husband. He is my safe person. He's the one, but things with the kids totally got changed. I couldn't go with him, but I was so determined. I called my friend and said, do you have a half day? She did. I went up with her. So I've done that half day. Then this past weekend, I did 2 full days on this trip. Okay, so I have 3 days in me, and that is where I am. And I'm going to tell you, like I said, kind of along here, I have like 10 tips that I've learned through it, and I'm going to tell you about how the skiing actually went. So hopefully that entire background tells you that I was coming in with a lot of trepidation, a nervous system that has some block against this whole thing. Like it's more than just, oh, I'm a beginner. It is just true. I don't even know the word for it. I really don't. I'm sure a therapist could tell me what it is. But I have some word and some like blockage. That's what it is. I have a blockage, a total block against the snowboarding piece. But I at least knew what it was like to be on the mountain. Like I knew how a ski lift worked. It scared me because I fell so many times getting off of it. But I knew how it worked, right? Like I knew how to show my ski pass. I mean, I knew the whole process. I've done that a lot. So that helped. That is the first thing I will say that helps. And so like I said, I'm going to go down my tips, but I'll tell you how it went. So that first day with my friend, I was so tired, you guys, like just legs, right? Physical exhaustion. But here's the thing. I didn't fall. I did not fall, which I can't even tell you with snowboard. It was just granted I was going to fall. The question was just if I was going to hurt myself. I didn't fall. That was huge to me. Oh no, I did. I did fall that day with her, but I didn't fall getting off the ski lift. That was a big one. And then my falls were just really gentle. It was just kind of losing control, and it was a real gentle fall, not with like a snowboard. So I was actually feeling really hopeful when her and I were done. Then we did the first day with all of us, and I won't go into all the logistics of how we did it, but that first day ended up being like a 6-hour day, and I truly hit, like the end of the day, I think I was the last one up there. My husband actually had to turn to me and say, honey, because we had sent our kids down with our friends because everyone just needed to get off the mountain. It was getting late and they were freezing. And he's like, honey, you have to get down off the mountain. Like we have to go. You have to go a little faster because we actually have to get off the mountain because it's getting dark. Like it's not safe anymore. That's how slow I was going. And I had hit like a mental, physical limit. I just hit my limit. I had tears in my eyes. I literally looked down at my feet and didn't know what else to do. I'm like, I don't know if I can. He's like, of course you can. I mean, we're on a green, you guys, okay? We're on a green. But again, whatever limit I had hit it. Granted, 6 hours, cold, end of the day. It was almost dark. But I got down. And I think everyone wondered, like, how is she going to do tomorrow? My husband even tells me now later. It's like, I was worried if maybe this just wasn't going to work. Okay, so then I went the next day, and it was exponentially better, like so much better. I was a little bit faster. Things started to click. I mean, I'm still so slow, so slow. But I came out of it, and I want to go again. Like we might go tomorrow. I want to go again because I see a possibility. Like, I don't want to do a lot. I just want to do greens. I just want to be able to go up there with my kids. I want to maybe go up there even by myself or with my husband during the week and enjoy the beautiful scenery. I want to have a little fun. I want to feel safe and in control. That's what I want. And I sense that. Like I got a glimpse of it. The second day after that hard day. But I had to put in all that hard to get to that glimpse of what it could be. And I'm excited now. And I am so damn proud of myself. I'm so proud of myself because only I truly know what I kind of had to conquer up there to do that. And I have so far to go. I'm probably going to take a lesson. I have so far to go. I mean, whatever the beginner is, that's what I am. But the fact that I was able to do it without my nervous system going haywire, the fact that I was able to feel some joy doing it and that I see glimpses of what it could be, that's really exciting to me. So if you have any past history of this, or if you want to try a new activity that makes you nervous, or you have some excitement but some trepidation about something, here are a few of my tips in that situation. So first off, do what you can to prep ahead of time. And this could be anything. Let's say you're going to a fitness class at a gym. Maybe go to their website, just look at images of what their studio looks like. Like that alone can help. Oh, that's what I'm walking into. That's what the studio looks like. Go to their Instagram page, get an idea of what kind of classes they have on the schedule. Even pull up the bio of a teacher who might be teaching. If you're doing what I'm doing, okay, do you know what I did? I pulled up YouTube. I literally went to YouTube and said, how to ski. And I watched 2 videos. And just that helped, saying, oh, okay, maybe like it didn't do a lot, but it helped me just a little bit to say, oh, that's what it might look like, or that's a beginner thing. Then I got my skis on in the living room with my husband and my kids watching. Great job, Mom. Yep, that's how you click in, and that's how you do that. Like I fitted them in the living room first. I had all my clothes ready. I tried them all on. I had my bag ready to go. Whatever you can ahead of time, just to prep a little bit for expectations. Anything, any little bit will help, because it takes that one little unknown out of the equation. Like the more unknowns you can take out, I think the better. So prep in any way you can so that you can, again, like take away any unknowns possible to walk into the environment. So that's 1. 2, you have to let go of caring what anyone else thinks. You have to. That's a big one for me. For some reason on the slopes, which again is funny. It just tells me I had some history there, because typically I don't care. Like I really typically don't care. Like in a class, I don't worry about what anyone look. When I go to the gym, I don't worry about it for the most part. I mean, always maybe a little bit, but if I'm doing something completely new, right? I'm like, am I using this machine right? But for the most part, no, that is not a part of my life or my personality. I'm just saying, if it is for you, I totally understand. But I'm saying, just again, for context, typically it's not for me. So to know what a big deal it is, like I don't want anyone to see me fall when I get off the lift. I don't want to run into anyone. I don't want anyone feeling like they're waiting for me. I'm so self-conscious up there. You have to let go of that. You just have to. 1, because most people really aren't watching you. But 2, this is about you. It's not about them. Okay, forget them. If there are not supportive people or there are rude people out there, forget them. That's about them. That's not about you. This is about your joy, yours. Put on your blinders. Don't worry about anyone else. 3, the only people you are going to worry about are yourself and the supportive people in your life. So first find them. Find the supportive people. It could be anyone. I mean, it could be a partner, a friend, just someone you talk to on the phone, maybe someone else who's done the class before that you want to do, whatever it is. Find at least one person, and maybe it's just one. One is plenty, but someone who is your safe person and your supportive person for this, okay? For me, it was my husband, 100% top. Then it was my kids. I know they couldn't help me physically, but they make me more brave. My kids are so brave to be up there doing that. And I asked them, like our daughter who's 11, I'm like, how does it feel getting on the lift? And how about this? And what do you do in this situation? And she loved helping me, and I liked talking to her. And then our 4 friends that we went with, truly, like I said, they have seen this whole journey for me. They're the most supportive, helpful. They don't care about going fast. They're great. Like we just talk similarly. They worked out logistics. They know, and so you have to know yourself. Okay. This is part of these tips too. Find supportive people. Let them know what you need. So find supportive people, and then you have to let them know what you need. For me in this situation, it was 1, telling my husband on a couple runs, I just need you to stay close. Like just stay close to me. And also he knows how I learn and how I can get. And so he told me, hey, you want me to teach you, I will, but you have to be willing to listen, and you have to let me push you a little bit, because we both know myself. I will back off and get defensive, which is not what I can do when I'm trying to be safe and learning. So we had a really big conversation, right, about how to listen to each other and what we needed. The biggest thing, though, I told them and the kids and what my friends knew I needed to know my kids were safe, because otherwise all I'm doing is worrying about them. My husband told me, and he's right, and I totally trusted him. He's like, our kids are so good now. I trust them to be safe. They know what to do, but also we're not going to let them out of our sight, especially our young son. So in those situations, I trusted our friends 100%. I trust them. They're like the right? Everybody has like that one family who will take care of your kids, and that's them. So I knew our kids were taken care of. Like if my husband had to stay back and help me on a run because I was going slow, I knew our kids were safe with our friends and their friends. That was the most important thing to me. So it's going to be different in every situation and different for every person, but decide what you need and verbalize it. Like, what do you need to make that situation feel doable and safe to you so you can concentrate on learning and what you're doing, and verbalize that. Like I said, only you know what that is, but that's what it was for me. And then as the day went on, I could verbalize it a little differently because I figured out what I needed. Like I became a little more comfortable. So I could tell my husband, okay, this run I actually want to do by myself. Like you just go with the kids, you got them, have fun. And I'm just going to do a couple by myself, and I'll meet you all at the chairlift. Like I needed to verbalize that because I didn't want anyone watching me anymore. I didn't want everyone waiting. I loved them cheering me on, but I actually didn't even want that. I just wanted to practice on my own. So I just said, hey, you guys have fun. I'll meet you in an hour at the lift. And so I was able to verbalize that more as I went along. So keep verbalizing what you need from people, whether it's your instructors or again, friends or partners or whatever. It's really important to verbalize to other people and to yourself what you need to learn best. Be willing to fall. You just have to. You have to be willing to fall. And I could mean that like realistically, figuratively. Maybe you actually fall like you do skiing or snowboarding or surfing or something like that. Maybe it just means you have to be willing to stumble and ask questions and not be able to do something and ask for a variation or ask for a modification. Just because you can't do one move or just because it's difficult doesn't mean it's not meant for you. It doesn't mean you have to stop. You actually have to be willing to struggle through it. Again, that's a fine line because I don't mean you have to hate it. I don't believe that whatsoever. I mean, it's going to be hard. Maybe you're going to feel self-conscious. Maybe you're going to feel silly. You have to push past some discomfort. I mean, I had to. I'm not kidding you how hard it was for me that first day to get rid of that baggage or to push past them. And I slogged through it to do it. And I am so glad because I will tell you, the baggage part it was so good. I switched because I don't think I could have stayed with snowboarding and ever had been successful. I had too much baggage around it for whatever reason, too much trauma, too much whatever. And I just couldn't. And this, I totally feel like I can. Whether I'm going to be like really good, I don't know. I don't know. It's still hard for me. But just that feeling of my nervous system being haywire, that isn't there. Yeah, I'm nervous. Yes, I have anxiety. I do not like to go fast, you guys. It's not natural to me. This is not my comfort zone. But I've really had to tell myself, hey, I think I have to be willing to do it wrong. I have to be willing to look silly. I have to be willing to not be good. I have to be willing for it to be hard. And to figure that out. So you have to be willing to fall. You have to be willing to laugh. Okay. I can't even tell you how many laughs, when everyone was waiting for me because I was so slow, I didn't get mad. I just was like, oh, thanks guys. Sorry. And then we laughed later about it. Like at dinner, we just told stories and laughed about it. And we laughed about my position on the skis because it was not good. My daughter thought it was really funny. And I have to be willing to laugh. I'm like, yeah, you're right. I'm learning that. So tell me what to do. She's like, you just need to stand up straighter, Mom. I'm like, oh yeah, I do. I know. She's like, it looked like you were going to the bathroom the whole time. Okay, thanks. And I think it did. And that is it's funny because it's coming from people who love me and because she's right. You have to be willing to laugh a little bit. If you stumble, so what? If you miss the choreography, so what? You have to be willing to laugh. There's so much healing in laughter. And then I think you have to know why you're doing it. I really talked about that a lot here, so I don't think I need to go more into it. But make sure there's a why, because if the why involves trying to impress other people, I don't know if that's deep enough. I think your why has to go farther than that, and it has to involve you. Why are you doing this? What do you want to do? That's what's important. And it's okay if there's other people involved. There are for me, right? It does involve my family and my kids, but not because I feel a need to show off for them, but because I just want to be with them and share this with them. Like, that's all. It's for me. It's for my pleasure. I want to do it. And then also know, if you want to quit, be willing to walk away if that's what's best for you. Only you know that. And I don't think there's any shame in it. There really isn't. Okay, if it's not for you, if it's absolutely not for you, and there are other things that will bring you more joy when you spend your time on it, your precious time, do that instead. But if you are willing to do it, if it's a big part of your why and you want to stay, commit to doing the work. You just have to. There's no way around it. Sometimes the work will feel easy. Sometimes the work might feel hard, but you have to know your why. And truly, at the end of this, like the middle day, so the first day on this recent trip when I had hit my mental and physical limit, I was cussing out loud. I was crying. I was like, why can't I do this? I definitely was. But here's the thing. When I got out of that moment and got down, and everybody was there waiting for me around a fire, and everybody cheered for me, and I warmed up and I laughed, it quickly turned into something else. So I was willing. I'm like, I'm going to do tomorrow and see. And the next day was so much better because all of that work had already been assimilated in my body. Like, I was already a little bit better. And that was really important versus, if you have a moment like that and it just keeps building, and each time you do it, you go to tears and you don't see the why behind it, then find something else. There's 1,000 ways to move your body. And you need to do it for you. And we can all have different things. Like, it's totally fine to have different joys than your partner or your friends or your kids. Absolutely it is. But if you really want something, I can tell you absolutely that you can do it. You can start the process. And it's just each time you do it, you recommit to it. You maybe are willing for it to be hard. You're willing to go back, forward 2 steps, backward 1 step. That's the way it gets. But eventually, it starts to become yours, and eventually you start to feel empowered in it. And that's what I'm hoping for with this. And that's what I know is possible if I want to commit to it. So thanks for listening. And here's to everyone out there trying new things, whatever they may be. And it might not even be fitness. Maybe you need to give a talk on stage. Maybe you need to give a presentation at work. Maybe you need to have a hard conversation with someone you care about. There's lots of things that are hard that we have to kind of be beginners at that I think are worth it. And all of these tips actually can apply to all of those things. So for me this year, or at least this season, this is mine. This is my being a beginner. And thanks for following along in the journey. And I'll talk to you soon. Thank you so much for joining me today on Meet Your Body. If you have a moment, please consider rating and reviewing this podcast, as it helps us tremendously. For more resources and workouts, you can visit my website, jessicavalantpilates.com, or find me on YouTube or Instagram at Jessica Valant Pilates.